All right, additional features. These are just some things that we have found that we think managers would like to use. This is something we had in Swipe Clock back in the day that I know a lot of people were sad that it went away when we switched to iSolved. So happy news, it is back. You can add a break on someone's time card. So so if someone is here, here's my example. If someone is here from 9 to 5, but they had a 30-minute lunch break they forgot to clock out for, rather than adding a 12 o'clock clock out, 12:30 clock back in, you can right click on that day. So just anywhere on this line, right click, add a row, and then the pay type, you can switch it to break. And then the amount is how many minutes they were on break, and make sure it's negative. So they were clocked out. So subtract 30 minutes from their time. And you'll notice here the regular hours was 8 hours, and now it is 8:50 because we subtract 30 minutes from that day. Which is pretty great if you are entering people's breaks. Obviously, our preferred method is people clock in and out on their own for lunches. But if they ever come to you and they're like, shoot, I forgot to clock out for my lunch, you can just add a quick break for them right there. Questions on this? If you don't do a -50, I think it adds hours to their time. It doesn't pay them for it, but it adds hours, which is just messes up our record. So please be sure to subtract minutes from their time. Okay. Another thing is a lot of features we've been slowly adding to the app, and I just wanted to kind of introduce you to those. Our internal application process is now all electronic. Don't come up to HR, don't fill out a paper, don't print anything off. Direct your employees if they ask, direct them to the app. Oh, my bad. Direct them to their app under company links, and they can click this internal application and it sends them to our website that they can fill out an internal application there. If you want to make any changes to your 401k or see how much you're contributing or your balances, you can do that right here. A quick link there. We now have an electronic employee lodging discount request. So rather than coming to HR to get a form, to walk to reservations, to do that all in person, it's all electronic. So you go to company links, click on this, you'll fill out the form electronically. It will go to reservations automatically. Will also be flagged just to make sure it's only employees that are requesting, and then you are good from there. Insurance links. So any questions, well, insurance enrollment was here, but also any upcoming insurance links. Why would you need to know that? I don't know. Well, it was there and it was helpful recently, but it won't be most of the year. So I'll probably remove that soon. All right. And then like we already talked about, the HR forms, HR action forms are here. If you guys have any ideas of other links that you would love to have, things that you feel like would be helpful for employees, things that you want added to this, I am always open to ideas. Shoot me an email, give me a call, put it in the little chat box real quick, whatever you want to do. We're always open to seeing how we can improve different processes that can be improved. Questions here? All right. A couple recent policy.
Hey, Amber.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is James from Reservations. Just about the lodging discount request. I think the way we were gonna do it is after they submit it through this, they should still stop by or give reservations a call.
Yes.
Rather than wait for someone to call them. Is that still correct?
Absolutely. Thank you for that clarification. So when they finish the survey, they submit it, and then they automatically get an email saying, you have submitted a survey, you've submitted a lodging request, your next steps. And it gives a phone number that they need to call in to reservations to complete their reservation. Thank you for reminding me of that step, James. That's very important. So yes, that is to send the form to reservations, and then they'll be prompted to give reservations a call.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. All right. So we've had a lot of policy changes in the last few months. I just kind of wanted to put a table out there because honestly, sometimes I lose track. If you ever need to just like double check what it was, what it is now, I kind of made this table. As we change more, we can add this and or you can store this somewhere else. I just want to quickly go over some of the new policy changes. You can read those in detail on your own time, but just very fast. Rehires. who need to re-attend Discover Sundance. If it has been more than 3 years since they worked here last, they need to attend Discover Sundance. They can start working before coming to Discover Sundance. Crisis pay, employees who are eligible can start using that immediately. Obviously, they start with 0, so they need to accrue first, but they can start using it immediately. They don't need to wait 90 days. Those who are hourly employees who are working a holiday, all employees who are working the holiday get time, all hourly employees who are working a holiday get time and a half pay starting immediately. They no longer need to wait 90 days. Our winter hires who right after they get hired work Christmas and New Year's back to back within 90 days. Lovingly, we will pay them time and a half for working those crazy days, which I'm stoked about. Also, holiday pay time and a half is for all hours employees work that day, not just the first 8 hours. That has been updated. This one has a caveat. So half pay, for those of you who are salaried managers eligible for half pay, it can be applied to daily increments within this next year. This might not always be the case, but this next year, with this upcoming closure and upcoming end of winter closure, it doesn't have to be a full week to use those. It still has to be within the approved time period, quiet time period, but those can be used in daily increments. ACA audit, which this will mean nothing to anyone. ACA audit period is now 12 months, and we will do that every February. So rather than looking back at employees' last 11 months to see if they qualify, we'll look at 12 months, which means hopefully more people will be eligible for ACA for working full-time hours. Workflow and approvals, we have simplified them. Some used to take up to 6 signatures. We have simplified them quite substantially, which is awesome, and will speed things up quite a bit. Training codes. We used to give training codes to every employee. We now will only be giving training codes to employees whose job code is less than minimum wage. That way, if someone like a banquets employee who's paid 0, when they come to Discover Sundance, they will be paid their training rate, and all of that will stay the same for people less than minimum wage. If you're a department who wants to use the training code for tracking purposes, you are welcome to continue to do that for budgeting, for planning, all those things. Let me know, and I'll keep putting training codes for each of your employees. Otherwise, we will not be adding training codes to each employee. Questions on that, feel free to email or chat or whatever you want to do. If the employee is new to the department but have been with Sundance longer than 90 days, do they qualify for holiday pay? Yes, all employees, the second they are hired, if the next day, even if their first day is holiday pay, is a holiday, they will get paid holiday pay. Just they qualify for holiday pay. As long as they're an hourly employee. Sorry, salaried managers, not the case for you, but hopefully we all are aware of that. Okay. Those of you who are concerned or have questions about upcoming seasonal rehiring, this is somewhat less of a Paylocity question, but I know that people have questions. So summer end of season, I'm going to be sending out rehire lists here very soon. It will be that spreadsheet that you hopefully filled out at the end of winter. Basically, it has your employees, what their position is now, what their pay rate is now. And then there will be a column of if they're returning next season, yes or no, what their position will be then, what their pay rate will be then for next summer season. Send that to me, and that will help simplify things for rehiring next summer. Those of you who are about to think about winter rehiring lists from the end of last season, I have those that were sent to me. If you did not send them to me, please send it to me. There's a few departments that I'm like, If you're wondering if you are that department, you're welcome to message me privately. Okay, so in prep for your winter season, I'm going to compare my list with who you're expecting to return. So I'll either send you the list and you can put like, yes, they're actually returning or no, or just send me your like, these are my returning people, your roster. I'll compare, and everyone who you marked as yes, they're returning and is actually returning, I'll rehire them. I'll process them and they'll be good to go. For anyone who missed a season, So not someone who is consistently coming back every winter, someone who you need to rehire from being dormant, if you will. If they missed a season, you need to send the simple rehiring onboarding packet because they had a break in employment and need to be rehired to the company. Hopefully that makes sense. If you need clarification, reach out to me sometime, or we can talk about it now. I just know this doesn't apply to everyone, so I don't want to waste people's time for things that aren't necessarily the case for everyone. All right. Coming soon. So some features that we're excited about that will be rolling out soon. We will be doing reviews in Paylocity. No more paper reviews as of starting annual reviews. So one last round of summer paper reviews, and then we'll be moving that to Paylocity. So starting with annual reviews in November, we will be training everyone on how to complete those in Paylocity. This summer will be the last ones on paper. Upcoming, once I figure out how to do it, payroll adjustments will be electronic, so that's going to be awesome. Season pass instructions and links. We'll be using a lot of Paylocity things for this. Links of how to do different things will be in company links in your app. We also have a community group, which will have a lot of information, a lot of instructions, Q&A, all of that in the community group called Season Passes Q&A. I would love to hear more ideas. More is coming as we think of them. More is coming as we have time to build them. But we always would love to hear ideas of different processes you guys have or you guys would love to see changed to see how we can make that better in Paylocity.